If football is a theater stage, then El Clásico is its most gripping, dramatic, and unpredictable climax. But last night in Jeddah, the two Spanish giants didn't just put on a play. They delivered a full-blown blockbuster action movie. An insane back-and-forth shootout that left the world questioning reality. King Abdullah's Sports City bore witness to it all: calamitous errors, world-class stunners, and a fateful red card. But above all, it was those 7 minutes of first-half stoppage time, a period where the very concept of defense seemed to be erased from both teams' dictionaries. If anyone dares to say football is merely 22 men chasing a ball, take them back to Jeddah last night. There, beneath the shimmering lights of the Arabian desert, the very concept of a game ceased to exist. As the opening whistle blew, the air was thick with hostility. But few realized that behind the calculated start, a firestorm was waiting to erupt, poised to incinerate every prediction and defy all logic. Before a ball was kicked, both tacticians held aces up their sleeves. Hansi Flick deployed his familiar 4-2-3-1 formation, anchoring the defense with a back four of Condé, Barcia, Eric Garcia, and Balda. But the real spotlight was on the attack, where Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, and Fermin Lopez formed the supporting cast for Robert Lewandowski. Across the battle lines, Xabi Alonso dropped a bombshell by leaving superstar Kylian Mbappé on the bench, a calculated move to protect the Frenchman's fragile knee. Instead, the attack was spearheaded by Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Gonzalo Garcia, powered by a midfield engine of Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Bellingham. The opening minutes were exactly what you'd expect from a final: tense, cagey, and physically brutal. But the real battlefield wasn't in the center, it shifted entirely to Barcelona's right flank. There, Lamine Yamal ignited a fascinating duel with Madrid's Álvaro Carreras. Yamal's magical feet danced on the ball, constantly testing his opponent's patience. Carreras, desperate to stop him, didn't shy away from the dark arts, from shirt pulling to nasty stomps. It was uncompromising warfare. In the 25th minute, Carreras won a round with a surgical tackle. But Yamal fired back moments later, weaving through with dazzling dribbles that forced the defender into clumsy fouls. Meanwhile, Real Madrid sat deep, lying in wait to unleash Vinicius Jr. with long balls over the top. In the 13th minute, Vini fired the first warning shot, breaking free down the left and cutting inside, but goalkeeper Joan Garcia stood tall to deny him. It was a clear message: despite conceding possession, Los Blancos still possessed sharp claws. The match's first turning point arrived in the 35th minute, and its name was Raphinha. The Brazilian went on an emotional rollercoaster in a matter of seconds. It started with a world-class switch of play from Lamine Yamal. The ball found Raphinha, who beat the offside trap to go one-on-one with Courtois. Time stood still. The entire stadium held its breath, but incredibly, his finish went wide. It was the kind of miss often deemed unforgivable in big games. The Culés held their heads in disbelief. But Raphinha didn't crumble. On the very next attack, he picked up the ball 20 yards out. No time to think. He drove to the edge of the box and unleashed a decisive strike. The low drive nutmegged the defender and drilled into the bottom corner. Courtois stretched but was helpless. 1-0 to Barcelona. Raphinha redeemed himself in the most spectacular fashion. That goal lifted 1,000 tons of pressure off Barca's shoulders, forcing Real Madrid to abandon their defensive shell and chase the game. If the half had ended 1-0, it would have been a massive advantage for the Blaugrana. But football is never that simple. 3 minutes of stoppage time turned into 7, and in those critical moments, one of the craziest scripts in El Clásico history was written. Minute 45+2, Vinicius Jr. steps up. The Brazilian received the ball in the box, facing Jules Koundé. With a touch of world-class skill, Vini nutmegged Koundé, bypassing the defender to open up acres of space. Despite losing his balance and falling backward, he managed to squeeze a shot into the near post, beating Joan Garcia, 1-1. Madrid were back, but the drama was far from over. Immediately from kickoff, Barcelona surged forward. Pedri, with genius vision, played a pass that tore the Madrid defense apart. Robert Lewandowski, like a ghost, slipped through to face Courtois. Instead of power, the Polish striker executed a delicate lob over the keeper. The ball kissed the post and nestled into the net. 2-1 to Barcelona. The net bulged twice in under 2 minutes. But do you think that was it? Not yet. In the dying seconds of the 7th minute, Madrid won a corner. The ball came in. Raphinha cleared it off the line. But Gonzalo Garcia was there. From an off-balance position, the young striker hooked the ball over Frenkie de Jong and into the net. 2-2. Unbelievable. 4 goals in the first half. 3 of them in stoppage time alone. Both defenses seemed to have gone missing, making way for pure attacking brilliance. As the halftime whistle blew, it left everyone in shock. A half of football defined by art and errors. Entering the second half, both managers understood one thing. They couldn't sustain the kamikaze football of the first half. Caution returned, yet the tempo remained incredibly high. Barcelona gradually regained control, dictating the rhythm thanks to the midfield mastery of Pedri and Frenkie de Jong. Lamine Yamal continued to be a menace on the right flank. In the 64th minute, he delivered a laser-guided cross with his left foot, forcing Courtois to punch it clear. Just moments earlier, in the 63rd minute, Joan Garcia also produced a brilliant save to deny Rodrigo. The chess match began. Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo replaced Lewandowski and Fermín López for Barca. Real Madrid responded with Arda Güler and Valverde to inject creativity. And then, destiny called Raphinha's name again. Minute 73. The Brazilian picked up the ball at the edge of the box. He unleashed a shot, not his most powerful, and slightly off balance, but it took a wicked deflection off Raúl Asensio. Madrid's young centre-back, the ball took a looping, nasty trajectory, sailing over Courtois and dropping into the net. 3-2 to Barcelona. A stroke of luck, yes, but a well-deserved reward for Raphinha's tireless work rate. A brace in the Super Cup final. He has truly proven his worth in the biggest of games. Trailing and with nothing left to lose, Xabi Alonso played his final ace, Kylian Mbappé. Minute 76. The French superstar entered the fray, carrying Madrid's hopes of a comeback. His presence immediately terrified the Barca defense, with his speed and technique stretching them to the limit. Minute 90. Disaster struck. In a lightning-fast counterattack, Mbappé sprinted through the middle. Frenkie de Jong, the last line of defense, was forced into a decision. He made a cynical challenge, studs up. It was a straight red card. De Jong was sent off, leaving Barcelona to survive 5 fateful minutes of stoppage time with only 10 men. It was a necessary sacrifice, but it left Barca hanging by a thread. The stoppage time was suffocating. Real Madrid threw everything forward. Even Courtois went up for a corner. Minute 95. Marcus Rashford, who came on for Raphinha, had the chance to kill the game. He intercepted the ball with an empty path ahead as Courtois scrambled back. But instead of passing or holding the ball to waste time, Rashford chose to shoot, and missed wide. A heart-and-mouth moment that gave Real Madrid one last lifeline. Minute 97. The climax. Real Madrid launched one final assault. Raúl Asensio rose high to connect with a powerful header from just 6 yards out. The ball flew like a bullet toward the corner. Madrid fans were ready to scream, "Goal!" But no, Joan Garcia denied them all. The young Barca keeper produced a reflex save of the season, clawing the ball right off the line. A priceless save. Asensio held his head in despair, while Garcia celebrated like a lion protecting his territory. The final whistle blew immediately after that miracle save. Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 2. A classic final worthy of the name El Clásico. Barcelona are the Spanish Super Cup champions. But this victory didn't come easy. They had to fight, to suffer, to rely on luck, and on moments of individual brilliance to overcome a resilient Real Madrid. Real Madrid lost, but not in spirit. They equalized twice and fought to the very last second despite a depleted squad. Kylian Mbappé returned but couldn't conjure a miracle in his short cameo. For Hansi Flick, this title confirms his philosophy at the Camp Nou. For Raphinha, Yamal, Pedri, and especially Joan Garcia, that night in Jeddah will be an unforgettable memory. This was the 6th Clásico in the last 2 seasons, and Barcelona has now won 5. Congratulations to Barcelona on lifting their 14th Spanish Super Cup, the 4th trophy under their German strategist. Football, with all its madness and raw emotion, has once again proven why it is the king of sports. And El Clásico? No matter where it's played, it remains the absolute pinnacle of entertainment and drama.